To all English learners and fairy tale lovers, Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs. Originally written by Brothers Grimm, retold in simple English, just for you. Once upon a time, there was a kind and beautiful girl named Snow White. She had skin as white as snow, lips as red as roses, and hair as black as night. Everyone loved her. Snow White lived in a big castle with her father, the king, and her stepmother, the queen. The king was a good man, but he often had to travel to help other kingdoms. While he was away, the queen became jealous of Snow White. She had a magic mirror. Every day she asked,
"Mirror, mirror on the wall, who is the fairest of them all?"
The mirror said,
"You are my queen."
But one day the mirror said,
"Snow White is the fairest of them all."
The queen was very angry. She told a huntsman,
"Take Snow White to the forest. Don't let her return."
The huntsman took Snow White to the forest, but he was kind. He said,
"Run, Snow White, run and hide. I will not hurt you."
Snow White ran deep into the forest. She found a small house with tiny beds, chairs, and dishes. It was the home of 7 dwarfs. The dwarfs came home and saw her.
"Who are you?"
They asked.
"I am Snow White,"
She said.
"May I stay here? I can cook and clean."
The dwarfs smiled.
"Yes, you can stay with us."
Snow White was happy in the forest. But one day, the queen found out she was still alive. The queen made a poisoned apple and dressed like an old woman. She went to the dwarf's house and said,
"Try this sweet apple, dear."
Snow White took a bite and fell down. She was asleep like stone. The dwarfs were very sad. They made a glass coffin and placed her in the forest. One day, the prince came. He saw Snow White and said,
"She is so lovely."
He kissed her gently, and Snow White opened her eyes. She woke up. The prince took Snow White back to the palace. The king was home and very happy to see his daughter. Snow White told him everything. The king was shocked. He said to the queen,
"You have done a terrible thing. You must leave this palace."
The queen left the castle. She went into the forest and lived with the 7 dwarfs. At first, she was still proud and cold. But over time, the kind dwarfs helped her change. She learned to share, help, and smile. Slowly, she became a better person. Back in the castle, Snow White and her father lived happily. One day, she married the kind prince. They all lived happily ever after. Thank you for watching. See you next time.